You are now listening to Mike's Opinion, Logic Unleashed.
That's right, you are now listening to the Mike's Opinion podcast. Thank you so much for listening. How are you doing today? You know I always want to know, always before I get started, I want to know, how are you doing? How are you doing? Spring is upon us. Did you turn your clocks? This past weekend? Did you turn your clock? Or you still an hour behind? Hey, just on that note, before I even get started with this episode, the Senate just passed a bill to make daylight savings time permanent. I feel some kind of way about that. I don't want that. I do not want that to happen. I like when it gets nighttime at 6 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? And the sun comes up mad early. I like that. I don't want the sun to be out to 9 o'clock. It's nighttime. Why? Do you even know why? And I know I'm digressing right off the bat, right? You know, that's what I do sometimes, right? I digress. But they did daylight savings time to save candles. Back in candle burning day, they could burn less candles. They want that smoke. That candle smoke. You know what I'm saying? We got electricity now. So write your congressman, vote against that. Okay? Let's let night be night. Let's enjoy the night. But like I said, I digress. That's not what this episode is about. This episode is about the dumbassery of war, the dumbassedness. But before I get there, I asked the question already. I want to know how you're doing. How are you doing? I really hope you're okay. And you don't let all this drama and threats of nuclear bombs, you know what I'm saying, and invasions and major global entities like Russia and China, you know, teaming up against us here in the U.S. What's wrong with humans? Hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to get there in a minute. But I hope you're okay. Let me know how you doing. Hit me up. Mike'sOpinionShow@gmail.com is my email. Mike'sOpinionShow@gmail.com. You can find it in the show notes. Also, reach out to me, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the social media places. I'm there. DM me. Message me. Say, yo, Mike, you asked me how I was doing. This is how I'm doing. And it's a good possibility I'm going to respond to you. So do that. Let me know how you're doing. I hope you're okay. War. Good God, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. Yes. A song called War by a group called War. What a coincidence, right? What is war good for? For those of you that follow me, y'all already know I'm a peaceful man. I'm a dreamer, even though I'm from the ghetto. I'm from the projects in Harlem and in the South Bronx. I'm a child of the 60s, ran around, grew up 70s, 80s, 90s, you know what I'm saying? And I've seen it all growing up in New York City. Plus I've traveled abroad. I've traveled around the country. So I know what humanity is all about. And I can't say I know it all. Nobody knows it all, right? Supposedly. But I've had a really large slice of exposure into all levels of society, from the lowest of the low up to the highest of the high. Been there, done all of that. And I have come to the conclusion, not just based on my brief 50 plus years here on this planet, and that's brief if our universe is almost 14 billion years old. 14,000 million. So 50 years ain't nothing, right? But when I think about the history of humans on planet Earth, something may fundamentally be wrong with us. And I mean that. What's wrong with us? And I should say what's wrong with y'all, or some of y'all, because there are some people that are peaceful like me. Now, being a peaceful person is not synonymous with cowardice. It's not. It's just not. Just because you choose to be peaceful does not mean you're afraid to fight or defend yourself. War, in my humble opinion, is idiotic. However, as you know, I do research for all of these episodes, and when I'm checking out all of the information that's available about this current war, what they're now calling Putin's War, Vladimir Putin, he might have a point. Hold up. Hear me out. So, summarily speaking, NATO and Western values are creeping his way, right? All of these very close and neighboring countries have joined NATO. They're adopting these Western values, and they're getting a little too close for comfort. Now, we could talk about the fall of Russia, the Soviet Union, the Iron Curtain, and all of that. I urge you to read and come to your own conclusions. But summarily speaking, at least publicly, this war is really about Western values creeping towards Russia, and Putin's like, no. We're not having that. He already annexed Crimea, and Belarus and his boy up there. And now he's like, yo, we need to take Ukraine and push back the other direction. Because you got, Hungary and Romania and all these other, places. Hey, what's going to happen? And this is part of what people are afraid of. Like, is he going to stop at Ukraine? Because then you start venturing in to NATO allies. Okay. And if you don't know what NATO is, look it up. NATO is a thing. It's a gang. It's a gang of countries, basically. But this gets way deeper than I have the time or, frankly, the knowledge about. Because when you start getting into history, you really go into, even if it's written, he said, she said, right? Because it's a matter of perception. Think of American history and how it's been portrayed and written. And I'm not a racist in any way, but American history has up until late been poised, presented, documented as the white male perspective. That's what all the barking and the hoopla is about with critical race theory, which I'm not going there. I'm not going there today. I'm going there, just not today. Critical race theory, of course, is seeing American history through the lens of slavery. Right? So I say Putin's got a point because I understand what he's trying to protect. I don't necessarily agree with it. Some people are trying to say he's trying to put up another Iron Curtain and cut, get as much more land as he can, as if he needs more, because Russia is fucking massive already, just from a topographical, geographical land mass standpoint. Do you really need Ukraine too? But look, I get it. But once he gets Ukraine, if that's all he wants, if he don't want to really start popping off, he might put up another Iron Curtain, cut them off from the rest of the world. He already rewrote the Constitution where he could be president forever, basically. Right? So when you look at this man, like one man, of course, he's got his team, his squad, his peeps, right? But one man with this much control and power. And my understanding is my man, Putin was a KGB dude, right? They poison people. They kill people. This type of life these people are in, right? These people that crave these positions of power and dominance. They want to rule and run large swaths of people and territory. They on some other shit, right? They're not like, let's share, let's kumbaya around the fire. No. They ain't with that. They on that, I'll run shit, you better bow the fuck down and do whatever the fuck I say, cause I will kill you if you don't. Now, where shit gets concerning for me, and there's some things I have control over, there's some things I do not. I'm not a suicidal dude, so I don't have control over when I die. Might be health related, might be an accident, might be nature, a natural disaster. It might be the byproduct of a madman with nuclear weapons. I might succumb to the horrors of war. World War III, as it would possibly be. And I say that because Putin was talking mad shit. Supposedly he put his nuclear arsenal and other weaponry on deck, on full alert. When I saw that a few days ago, probably a week or so ago now, that caught my attention. Because, this shit that's overseas, it's a headline, it's news, gas prices may be affected, right? But other than that, does it really affect us? Ain't no bombs raining down in our skies. Ain't no tanks and soldiers in our streets. So what's over there? We ain't bothered by it, really. Now, if you got fam over there, if you got friends or family, some loved ones, then it's more concerning. You're more attached to it. If you over there in the UK, Europe, anywhere in those regions over there, okay, you want alert. Now, I would like to think that in the year 2022 and beyond, that the use of nuclear weapons in any form should be off the table for everyone. Vladimir Putin, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, any of these world leaders. In fact, I don't even see the point of their existence. What is the point? Big boom, and then the air and water and soil is poisoned. For what? When I was doing the research for this episode, one of the things I researched was I wanted to see a list of wars. Like, I was going to really provide a history of like maybe the top 10, 20 major wars, what caused them. And then I scrapped that because I just said, damn. And this is what, even before this episode, long time ago, if you can go back to my early episodes, something is wrong with us. Something is wrong with human beings on this planet. I'd like to dream and imagine that perhaps on other planets that they live in peace, that there are no weapons of mass destruction. There are no weapons of minor destruction. There are no weapons because there's not a need. Everyone has the knowledge and the smarts enough to realize that it's buffoonery. Violence against each other is dumb. Now, those of y'all that are into the rah-rah and the drama and the bullshit, y'all the problem. Y'all are the problem. However, it's always been that way on this planet. So sometimes I wonder to myself, and yes, I am a dreamer. I am an optimist. And as previously stated, I am a peaceful person. But I wonder, and I hope I never really adopt this sentiment, this thought process, but I wonder, is this the way of all existence? Does the hostility, the negativity, the evil have to exist? Is this just the way? Am I being unrealistic that to think that utopia, that real peace and tranquility amongst human beings and all living things, in fact, is a possibility? Is it a reality that has been achieved somewhere else out in the universe that can one day be achieved by human beings here on this earth? And I say that frightens me a bit, because if I ever come to a conclusion that we all about that rah-rah and it's inevitable, then it's hard for me to say. I don't want to become a monster, right? In the sake of don't give a fuckedness. I'm taking anything that I want. I'm dominating and killing my way. Because you think about this. That's what's happened historically. When I was doing the research, there are wars upon wars upon wars. And I'm talking thousands and thousands of years ago. I'm not just talking about World War I, World War II, Civil War. I'm not talking about these relatively recent wars. I'm talking thousands of years ago. And some say, archaeologists, some that study the history of remnants of weaponry, that there may have been nuclear war, not only on this planet, but other planets in our universe. I mean, it's just in our galaxy, in our solar system, in fact. Can you imagine that for a second? If we found out that civilizations have wiped themselves out through the use of nuclear weapons. I mean, there has to be someone else that feels like I do. There has to be someone else that feels so sorry for these violent, needy individuals that can only feel comfortable through violence and domination and do not have the compassion, empathy, or ability for peace. And I dare say the intelligence for peace. Now, have you ever met a dumb doctor? Or an ignorant attorney? Or a not so bright CPA or politician? I have. Obtaining these credentials are not particularly difficult with a little discipline and application. But there are a multitude of factors why everybody doesn't have a degree on planet Earth. Multitude of factors. One is the power structure needs a labor force. So they don't allow the masses to obtain certain levels of knowledge. I digress. Imagine for a second Vladimir Putin is just an ignoramus who rose through the ranks through killing motherfuckers, who's not particularly smart, but is in power. Imagine that for a second. Now, some may say people like, I don't know, Marjorie Greene and Kirsten Sinema and Donald Trump and all these people personify what I'm describing. They're not particularly bright. They're just ignoramuses who thrive on the drama and the bullshit and the attention. Suppose Putin's like that. But he's got control of all of Russia and then some, and has proceeded to march his weaponry and his soldiers on the offensive. Like, fuck the pandemic. The world's too quiet. I want that land over there. I'm about to start some shit. And if any of you other motherfuckers get involved, I got the nuclear weapons on alert. So I'm ready to make it pop off and get crazy anytime y'all want to. And let's destroy the entire planet and humanity on it. It's dumb. For those of you that never heard of what I'm about to say, go check it out. It's called the Georgia Guidestones. And I don't know. All the information I've found, it's nobody knows where they came from, who paid for them, who wrote them. But basically the Georgia Guidestone says that it wants to reduce, we would benefit from a mass reduction in population down to 500 million people. What are we, upwards of 7-8 billion right now? What would it take? Who's prepared for that? Who's got the resources, the bunkers, the air cleaners, the ability to live after a nuclear war, post-nuclear war, and able to sustain themselves for the amount of years? I understand it takes decades for the surface to become habitable again. I would just like to say, for the record, if you were one of those people and you know it's coming, I and my family are ones that need to be accepted, that needs to be included in the new Noah's Ark. We're good, smart, peaceful people. So send me a beacon, send me a care package, send me the codes, the coordinates, something. So if things start going haywire, I can get to you and we can come in and be productive parts of the new society. Mike's Opinion Show at gmail.com. Any of the socials. Contact me. I want to live. I want my family to live. We deserve to live. Not that anybody else does it. I'm not judging, but we have used atomic weaponry. We being the United States, Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Horrible. Horrible. Then again, Pearl Harbor happened. From the air, from the sea, on land, we have all these ways to kill people. For what? For greed? For land? For minerals? For resources? So you can say, nah, I got more than you. I'm the king of this. For what? How about everybody have equal shit? How about that? How about everybody have the same shit? I don't even understand how that's inconceivable. We're born into this, in America, this capitalist society. You get yours, I'm going to get mine. And whoever get the most wins. But what do you win? The lessening of the strength and cohesiveness of humankind? Do you win the ability to drive past someone who can't feed themselves and who sleeps outside on the street? We call them homeless. We don't think in terms of community. From a little child, we're taught you better take care of yourself. Not look out for your other fellow humans. Something's wrong with that. So, UFOs, other civilizations, we call them aliens. If there are advanced civilizations that are observing us, I cannot blame them for not inviting us to the intergalactic table, to the universal party, if you will. There may be a party going on of unification and shared technologies and traversing the cosmos. But they're like, yo, them Earthlings? No. We ain't fucking with them. They don't know how to get along with others. Until they can work they shit out, we're not even sending them an invitation. We're not letting them know there's even a party out. We're not even letting them know. They may hap up on some shit, maybe. The James Webb Telescope is out there. The Hubble's been out there, and maybe the military, once again, maybe they know. Maybe it's like ultra rich secret societies that's going off planet regularly. I don't know. But I think it's a possibility. So the real question, how do we get every human being on planet Earth to come together? How do we get these people who we supposedly have put in power? Supposedly, Vladimir Putin is elected, quote unquote. These world leaders. And don't sleep on China neither. North Korea. All of these separate things, these borders, these separate languages, these separate things, these lines, these dividers. It seems like an insurmountable, just unachievable goal. With so many people on the planet, so many suppressed people on the planet, it would take a violent act to overthrow these people with these nuclear weapons that are in control, because we're not in control of this shit. Do you think you could write your congressman here in America and say, I would like all weaponry militarization to be destroyed? America's going to be a peaceful nation. How long do you think it would be? How many days? Because I'm thinking days. If we made an announcement to the world that we're laying down all our weapons, we're burning them, melting them down for something more useful, there will be no more bullets or guns. Well, guns not going to happen because, there are some people vehement about laying down their guns, and I got guns too. So I can't be a hypocrite. Got guns for two reasons. Sport, go to the range, and for personal protection. so I can expeditiously neutralize any threat without fist fighting and, going through all the physical. All I gotta do is flex one finger. Pow. Done. So I get it. But I would gladly give up all the weaponry that I have if I knew everybody else was. But guess what? Get back to the history of the planet. Imagine if everybody except for one dude or one woman decided to do that. The one dude with the gun, what? He's going to be running shit, right? It's going to take all of us. And a lot of people will say, yo, Mike, you dreaming, son. You know what I'm saying? That's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. It cannot happen. Well, damn it. I want it to happen. I want peace and love and harmony and utopia to be. And I'm not afraid to want it. I'm not afraid to hope for it. I'm not afraid to say it. And you shouldn't be either. They have stealth bombers. They have stealth helicopters. Stealth meaning they can successfully evade radar. It only stands to conclude that they must have stealth missiles, stealth nuclear warhead missiles. So there's several movies about it, and people have written about it. Like, it's the end of the world, right? Because if one country launched nukes, the other country knows about it. And then they're going to launch their nukes, and they launch their nukes, and then everybody's nuking everybody, and the world's over. Boom, bang, done. So the missiles themselves can be stealth, but it's the launching that makes the noise. But if you have been paying any attention over the last few years, and frankly, I don't think it's ever stopped, but seems prominent in the last few years, we've been catching Russian jets, big planes, fighter jets, invading airspace they ain't supposed to be in. And guess what? I bet you we doing the same shit. Cause it's a constant watch. It's like a paranoia. I gotta see what you're doing over there. Cause you might try to send your joints. One of the advantages, and this goes back to history and sociology and a bunch of places, but it's our geographic location is why it ain't easy to invade. Cause you ain't coming up through Mexico. You ain't coming down from Canada. There's water on either other side. So to get to us, we're going to have to know you coming, especially with today's technology. We watching. Everybody's watching everybody. North Korea's watching us. North Korea's watching them. They watching us. We watching them. China watching them. China watching us. We watching them. And we watching. We listening. That's why this was such a bold move by Putin. But people anticipated it. Because Ukraine was talking about joining NATO. And that's too close for comfort. So that's why I said I kind of understand where Putin's coming from. Do I agree with him? No. I want us all to lay down all the weapons, but I understand my perception and understanding of the situation is correct. If Ukraine, which is right up against Russia's border, becomes NATO, then we might start, building military bases over there, Western technology. Hey, I can't say I feel him. I can't say I agree with him. But I understand where he's coming from, I think. If I understand this correctly. So, Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, the prime minister, is been on TV in his bulletproof vest. Say him and his family is I don't know really how they haven't gotten him yet. He got mad evasive skills. But I didn't want to make this episode about this subject, but I felt it'd be irresponsible if I didn't. But I could have came on and said 3 words and ended the entire episode. And the words are, war is stupid. Because that's exactly how I feel. It's dumb. But it may be inevitable. It may be universal. I hope not. I hope not. I hope not. I hope we are just in our infancy or in our re-infancy. Maybe there's past civilizations that we're not privy to because the earth is old. It's been around for billions of years, supposedly. But I like to think that there's peace out there in our galaxy or other galaxies, other planets, that there's peace. If you're a peaceful person, let me know that I'm not alone. Email me at mikesopinionshow@gmail.com. Start a hashtag. I don't know. MOP, Mike's Opinion Peace. Or something better, I don't know. But I am going to stay optimistic. If it's my time to go, it's my time to go. I'm not going to let this stop my life. Don't let it stop yours. Stay informed, but don't stay immersed. You can be concerned without being worried. To me, worried is when you allow concern to become detrimental to your health, your mental health, your physical health. That's what I wanted to say today. Again, as like I always hope, I hope you're doing okay. I really, really do. Let's put the positive vibes, positive thoughts, positive intentions out into this world, because I think it can work if enough of us do that. You know, just call it, some people call it prayer. Let's think positively. Let's not succumb. Let's not surrender to the negative thoughts, the negative feelings. Let's think positive for the sake of all of us. I'm Mike, and this is the Mike's Opinion Podcast. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much for listening to Mike's Opinion. Logic Unleashed.